Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been picking up random beauty products lately, and I wanted to show you guys some of my faves that I've grabbed recently. So that's why I have nothing on right now. We're going to start from the very beginning with a face cream, my moisturizer, and just go from there with some new products that I've been loving. So usually when I first sit down to do my makeup, I will start off with a face cream. And that is just a hydrating face cream, a hydrating moisturizer. A lot of times I use Clinique. Lately I have been using the Lotus Youth Preserve face cream from Fresh. I have a deluxe sample of that and I've been enjoying that. But I received today from Tatcha a sample or deluxe sample of the water cream. And I got this from Sephora. It was one of those where you put in a code. And I thought I'd try that out. This is such a nice Luxe Deluxe sample. Look at that. This I thought would be a good prep before makeup. And it smells really fresh. It smells like something that they would call like fresh spring, or it's very springy smelling. Very light. It's not gonna be something that's gonna make me sneeze or bother me. That's what it looks like. So I'm just gonna pat this all over my face like I would my normal moisturizer before I start anything else. It said it provides a water burst when it hits your skin. And I can I felt that right when I smoothed it the first time. I could feel a moisture or a watery feeling. It kind of went into a watery feeling. How different. So this is really nice, really fresh. It's really hydrating me, of course. All right, so next I'm going to start on my eyes. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use a new shade of the Huda Beauty Matte and Metal Melted Shadows. I picked this one up recently, and I really think this is a good, quick, on the go, put it on your eyes and go type color and system here with the matte on one end and the metal on the other end. You know I love a metallic lid and a matte crease. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to prime my eyelids at all. I'm just going to put this straight on because I feel like that's kind of what it's meant for. Not to have a primer and then put this liquid shadow on, etc. Let me show you the color on the back of my hand. The color I have is Drop Top and Double Pump Latte. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the matte shade on as a transition shade and a lid shade, and then I'm going to throw this metal color on top of that. Here's the matte shade and here is the metal shade. I think that's going to end up being really pretty. And I'm going to try to see how you blend this cream shadow out in my transition and make it less harsh. I'm going to go straight on and dab around. I'm going to quickly pat this on my lid and then quickly also, before it sets, start blending the crease with a fluffy brush. Don't know how that's going to work out. Oh, works out well. Okay. That just took right to it. As long as it's not set, I think it's easy enough for you to do, to just blend the edge like you would an eyeshadow. It's blending nicely. Okay, it blended out nicely up in the crease. I mean, who knew? It's a liquid shadow. You'd think it would fight you. I feel like it's set up. It's not feeling watery or liquidy anymore, and it's not on my finger. So I'm going to throw the metal side down on top of my lid here. I may start out in the middle and just see how that looks. Ooh, got on my lashes there. So this one's really slick feeling. And it doesn't seem to be picking up the shadow underneath or melting it. It's just adding a little glimmer there. So it definitely disperses out when you pat it. It definitely loses that intense foil look in the middle as you're patting it out, but that's okay. You can put more on. Okay, I went ahead and lined my eyes, and I want to show you a single eyeshadow that I picked up that is so beautiful. I'm not going to use it today on this look, but I just want to show you how pretty this is. This is from Touch in Sol Metalist Sparkling Foiled Pigment. The color I got is called Aurora Taupe. This would be, I think, a really good topper. It's super glittery. Yes, it is very glittery. Kind of has a sheerness to it, so I think it's best as a topper. Next, I have an amazing primer. I am not really sold on a lot of different primers. I don't really like a lot of them. I have a lot of trouble with primers. A lot of times they'll break me out. This one has impressed me so much, and I've used it with a couple of different foundations that are completely different formats. I'm going to use it with another foundation that's another different format today, and that's the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. This is amazing, you guys. So I'd heard a lot good and bad about this, or about gripping primers in general. I've never tried the Cover FX gripping primer. This one is just impressive, and I went and bought a small size of it just as a trial to try it out. So it goes on really sticky feeling. I'm so impressed with how it makes my foundation look. It has this weird smell, okay? It's supposed to have like hemp oil in it or CBD oil or something. I'm not smelling that. I'm smelling some kind of strange, it's familiar. I don't know what it is. It's like a glue or something. Anyway, so I'm putting this on, and I'm gonna just pat this into place, and it will absolutely grab your foundation. It is amazing. I don't know about line and pore smoothing so much, but for long wearing and the way it makes your foundation just look on, it is amazing. It is like your foundation is not getting slurped up by your skin, which is a problem I have. It's like it's just laying on your skin so nicely with this primer. It is very sticky. Can you see that? It is very sticky at first. I mean, it doesn't feel, you don't feel anything like that on your actual face. Lately, I've been wearing the It Confidence in a foundation a lot, and also the Maybelline, the new Infallible Fresh Wear. And those have been so long wearing on me. With this primer, it's just incredible, and the way they look on is incredible. I'm going to try this today with a more liquidy foundation, because those two foundations are stiffer, they're thicker, and I want to see how a very liquidy foundation looks with this gripping primer. I also yesterday used it with my Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. That did fantastic. So today I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. The color I use is Y215. So, and I'm also going to use a new sponge. So this is something else new I wanted to try out with you guys. This is from Sephora. It is the Mint Chip Beauty Sponge. Sephora by Vera Mona. Comes in a cute little box like this. And what is so amazing is, look at that. It is like a stiletto. So this is wettened. It doesn't feel like your normal wettened beauty sponge. It feels very rubbery. The reason I wanted to get this with that point on it is to get up under my eyes. I have sponges. I have my good old dirty chewed up Eco Tools that are pointed on the end, but they just don't get up under my eye like I want. I'm going to show you how this applies concealer here in a minute, but we're going to use it to apply my foundation first. Just going to put a little of this foundation, which is quite liquidy. I want to see how this Hydro Grip grips a liquidy foundation. And we'll also see how this sponge does with something that is not a stiffer formula. I would say the primer is fine, but I'm gonna have to use like a ton of this foundation to get anywhere, because this sponge is so hard and dense. It's not putting it on my skin like I'm used to. So the sponge is good for getting into all these little nooks and crannies on your face, but I don't think I like the texture of it for foundation. So let's try this sponge with my concealer. I think today on my concealer I will I have a whole drawer full of them, and I can never have enough concealers. I think I'll use my Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. It's so hydrating for under the eye, so maybe this sponge will be nice for concealer. Okay, so kind of odd how I'm having to turn it to get out here. Probably would be a learning curve for me because I'm used to fighting with a sponge that doesn't want to go up under my eye, and now I've got a cooperative one. I'm gonna have to learn how to turn my wrist and do up under there. I'm home alone right now and I'm loving it. This is so much fun. Okay, next I want to show you a new powder, and I'm just crazy about this new powder. This is from Too Faced. It's the Do You New Translucent Radiant Pearl is the color. It's called Fresh Glow Translucent Setting Powder. Do You. Okay, so this is all part of that Tutti Frutti collection. They've expanded on that. And I'm loving this. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now, and I absolutely am crazy about it. I like an illuminating powder, not a super radiant illuminating powder, but something to set my makeup that's a little illuminating, because I'm older and I don't want to look too matte and I don't want to look dry. So it's in this kind of a setup here where you really have to pop it open to get to the product. I usually do that with a pair of scissors. Okay, so it has that mesh again in it, like so many powders do. It's a loose powder. And it smells fantastic. You know how the Do You foundation smells like intense watermelon? This one is the same way. It has a little bit of a sparkle to it. It's a sort of a sparkly powder, but it's not going to look that way when you've set your makeup with it. It's just going to give you sort of that eggshell glow. If you can see it, it's right here on my skin. I don't know if you can see sort of an eggshell glow there. But let's put it on because I love this powder. I love the way it smells. I love the very subtle sparkle aspect of it. And I like this mesh delivery system. Now you get a lot on your brush. You get a lot. And I want you to see how glowy it makes you without being no sparkling highlighter look. Just a way to set your foundation without looking dry. It's a very pretty finish. It's not intense or insane. It's my favorite radiant look foundation setting powder that I have right now. Other ones that I have the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Illuminating, and I also have the Cover FX Illuminating Setting Powder. You can go a little too crazy on this Do You setting powder. If you put too much on, you will look a little too shiny. Okay, now to line under my eyes, how do you do that with this liquid stuff? Let's find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and line sort of under my eye, and then I'm going to immediately take a brush and blend it out. So, a little scared. Don't know how this is going to look. Okay. Alright, it's kind of getting in my lashes, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to take my little pencil brush and blend that around, and like it did on the transition area, that blended out just fine. Now I'm going to try something different and put the cream directly on my pencil brush. See how that applies. I think that applies even better. So those are some things I've been enjoying lately or trying out for the first time. The Tatcha water cream, nice. Very nice moisturizer. Smells really fresh and light and not allergy inducing. The Milk Primer, Hydro Primer. Oh my gosh. You know, it's just gonna, look at this. My foundation is not going anywhere. It's not separating. The Do You powder, I love it. It gives me such a nice just glow without being overdone. This little sponge is great, I think, for concealer. I don't think I'll use it for foundation though. I think this is going to be a concealer only type. And the new shade of these matte and metal I think is pretty. I think this is a really quick and easy go-to out the door type eye look that you can just throw on. There's so many different colors in this. I guess they're going to keep adding because they added these colors. These are the newer sort of spring colors. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you in my next video, and thanks for everybody's continued support.